Imagine a man who lived more than 4,000 years ago, during the golden age of Egypt's Old Kingdom, the era of the pyramids. He was no pharaoh, no noble, and yet his remains have just revealed a secret that may rewrite what we know about the origins of Egyptian civilization. Buried not in a lavish tomb, but sealed inside a simple ceramic jar, this man's bones have survived the desert sands long enough to speak through modern science. And what they tell us is both unexpected and mysterious. The year is around 2700 BCE. Egypt is flourishing under the power of its early dynasties. Pyramids rise, scribes record history on papyrus, and society is sharply divided between elites and commoners. Most Egyptians of this era were never preserved. Their remains decayed in shallow graves, erased by time. But in the small town of Nuweirat, something unusual happened. A man was buried in a rock-cut tomb, his body placed inside a large pottery vessel, a practice reserved for high respect, though not for royalty. This act, simple yet deliberate, preserved his DNA in ways mummies never could. Fast forward to today. Using cutting-edge genome sequencing, scientists reconstructed this man's DNA, the first complete genome ever sequenced from the Old Kingdom. The results stunned researchers. His ancestry was not purely local. In fact, it revealed a blend of about 80% North African heritage and 20% Mesopotamian, pointing directly to contacts with the ancient civilizations of the Tigris and Euphrates. This wasn't just a random traveler. This was evidence that by the time of the pyramids, Egypt's people already carried the genetic imprint of long-distance connections. So, who was this man, now known by the code NUE001? Analysis of his bones shows clear wear in the arms and spine, consistent with repetitive, heavy work. Experts believe he was a potter, someone who spent his life shaping clay for vessels, jars, and everyday tools. And yet, his burial tells a different story. He was not discarded as a simple worker. He was given a rock-cut chamber and placed carefully inside the very kind of jar he may have once crafted himself. Was this irony, respect, or was there something special about him that elevated his status beyond that of a craftsman? From his bones, scientists also learned he likely ate a diet of bread, beer, and fish, staples of Egyptian life. His teeth, worn but intact, tell of years of labor, while isotopes in his skeleton suggest he never traveled far from the Nile Valley. Yet his DNA reveals a hidden story. His ancestors had crossed thousands of kilometers, blending bloodlines of Egypt and Mesopotamia. This creates a paradox: a local man living a humble life, carrying within him the genetic memory of two great civilizations. The discovery of NUE001 reignites one of the great debates in archaeology. Was ancient Egypt truly isolated, or was it shaped by far-reaching migrations and exchanges? For centuries, historians have argued whether Egypt's greatness was homegrown or influenced by neighbors. Now, for the first time, we have direct genetic proof. Ties to Mesopotamia were already woven into Egyptian society at its very foundation. But how? Was it trade, marriage alliances, captives of war, or waves of settlers moving along forgotten routes of the Fertile Crescent? The truth remains unclear. This single man challenges long-held assumptions. He is not a king, not a general, not even a priest. He was an ordinary Egyptian. And yet, his DNA suggests the world of the Old Kingdom was more interconnected than we ever imagined. What makes this even more extraordinary is the preservation method. By being placed in a jar before mummification was a cultural norm, his DNA escaped the chemical damage of embalming. Ironically, this humble burial preserved history better than the grandest pyramids ever could. In the end, NUE-001 is more than just a skeleton. He is a messenger from the dawn of civilization, a man whose quiet life and mysterious ancestry remind us that history is never as simple as we think. Egypt was not just the land of the Nile, it was a crossroads where Africa and Mesopotamia met, not only in trade and culture, but in blood. So the next time you look at the pyramids, remember, behind the grandeur of kings lies the story of an unknown potter whose DNA still whispers across 4,000 years. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, don't forget to like, subscribe, and explore more discoveries that continue to reshape our understanding of the world. Until next time, stay curious